think what happened was that Metallica was they recorded Kill 'Em All in New York on a small independent label, and they were looking for a studio in Europe because the dollar was very strong then. So and they found out that they could get twice the amount of studio time in Europe compared to what it would cost in the States. So what they did was they listened to a lot of albums and to find because they wanted a studio with a good in-house engineer. And they wanted to hear what different studios sounded like, so they listened to a lot of different albums, and they picked up on the albums I've done with Richie Blackmore. Probably mainly Difficult to Cure with Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. And actually, they contacted me. I hadn't heard about the band before that ever. I didn't know they existed. And since Lars was from Denmark, it was a good opportunity for him to come back and say hi to some of his friends and family.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's how that came about. That's probably a bit special because that was one of the only songs that wasn't written when they came to Copenhagen to do Ride the Lightning. I'm pretty sure that they, because on Ride the Lightning we had weekends off. We worked at night doing Ride the Lightning in the winter. It was cold. Lars was in a big warehouse building like room to get the huge ambient sound. So then we heated that with gas heaters. But I think they actually wrote that in the studio. I'm not totally sure, but in my recollection they wrote that in the studio. And that is the first song ever with Metallica that's recorded to a click track. Because I wanted it to be that time. That was epic. That was really good. That was one of the really good tracks to record because it was. I remember it as being somewhat effortless because it more or less played itself because that song is so well written and the parts are so well linked. So it's, yeah, the whole master session was actually just one big smile. We had that positive energy thing where this is gonna be the best album we've ever done. This is gonna blow them all away, and we all excelled. I think that's a really good album. I did stuff on Sanitarium where when they played the guitars, flicked some of the effects from mono to stereo, stuff like that. That's all on the tape because in those days because of the limitation of the techniques, I did a lot of stuff in the recording process so that once you took the tape off, you didn't have to sit and push 10,000 buttons. It was already there. Justice was just hard to get because they're so intricate parts. The thing with the Metallica is, in my opinion, they've always set the bar really high. So and in those days, they weren't as skilled as they are now, but they wanted that level of performance, and that the only thing that was hard with that was it took time. It just involved doing it a lot of times till it was nailed, and but it basically because they set the bar so high, it was tough and took time. So there was a couple of the drum tracks on Injustice, the whole album that was kind of difficult. And strangely, the what I would have thought was the most difficult part of all, which is the machine gun part of one, that was all done in one take.
Wow.
The Lars just nailed that.
That's awesome.
And that's the part where you go, oh man, now he's gonna go, and that was like, and he did it. And I went, yeah. And he went, what? Have a listen. What? Because there were parts that some of the transitions were just hard to do. I would say Sanitarium on Master of Puppets is probably one of them. That's the one with the mono stereo. I'm a sucker for that kind of shit. Where you sit with headphones, just go, what the hell was that? And it just goes from to but yeah, there's a lot of those. I think there's a lot of songs on all three albums that I'm really proud of. I think Creeping Death on the first one is probably where we really nailed the Metallica sound, that whole epic kind of thing. And I mean, yeah, it's also a very good song. That's, of course, it's got something to do with it. I mean, we all had this feeling that what we were doing was we were going to go all the way. I mean, we were going to change music history. and that was I think the project from the beginning. Also, you know, the thing about they didn't want they had their own thing going, and they have this tremendous energy that that kind of is a trademark for the band. You know, they don't want to rely on MTV to play their videos, and so they didn't make any videos because they didn't care, because that was not important to them. And that's it's been like that with Metallica always.